allesports.com. There you've got VODs, stats, player profiles, as well as information about upcoming viewing parties in a city near you. Click on the Viewing Parties tab for all the details on how you can attend an upcoming event to cheer on your favorite teams. Now, before we dive into our next match, we're going to take a closer look at the evolution of one of esports' longest mainstays. Now, it's not a team or a player, but our very own caster-in-arms, Rivington Bruce Bislin III, or as we like to call him, the Silver Fox.
It's me, the motorcycle, and the cast. I can go on rides and just put on a commentary that I did before, figure out where I want to improve on that. There's nothing else to distract me unless somebody pulls out in front of me. Growing up in upstate New York, I was a very active child. I didn't say a little hyperactive. I was always into sports, always into video games from the beginning. I always say that I was born with a soccer ball and a game controller in my hand. I started working at a grocery store when I was 15. I went on till 25 doing that, stocking yogurt, working registers, pushing carts outside, but knowing that I couldn't instantly grasp onto the goal that I wanted, I had to pursue gaming. The casting wasn't all that, heavy in the beginning. It was very far and few between. Traveling to New York City, maybe every 4 or 5 months, there'd be like tournaments around April Fools and then around the holidays. So it was actually a pretty big struggle in the beginning to get things going. But I wouldn't think to myself like, man, that was really great. I'm never gonna do that again. It's like, no, I'm gonna stock the hell out of this yogurt until I can get another chance to go back out there and commentate. I knew it was the dream that I wanted to pursue, no matter how much stress it caused me at the time, no matter really what I had to go through, because every instance that I got to go and cast, even at my computer screen, sitting in my boxers, casting to people for a tournament somewhere around the world, the feeling that you get is so euphoric that you can relate with people on a Baron steal, on a 3-person sight take headshot, all of those things that people grasp onto and can relate in a game is what drove me. Whether I had $0 in the bank, 1 penny in my hand, or $1 million, I still wanted to achieve that every day. It's an adrenaline rush. I was casting just pretty much Counter-Strike and shooters. Shoutcasting wasn't a real thing. It was kind of just coming up. I feel like I was really, really, really lucky to get the chance to kind of be thrown into the deep end immediately. Going to Nokia Theater in 2005, and MTV and Spike TV were there casting, and I was like, I am out of my league. What's going on here? That's when a friend at Riot Games had said, hey, you should come work for us and do some player support. And I thought about it. I was like, man, player support, I'm going backwards. That's not what I want to do. And I was like, no, that's exactly what I want to do. It only took 4 months into being at Riot, where I remember Freak and I would do kind of like patch previews at 4 in the morning. We were doing a brand patch preview when we brought him out. While you're doing some player support ticket, you would just see random crap where you hear Freak be like, Arcane Shift, and he'd jump across the room. We did some pretty random crap in the beginning. It's always been an amazing atmosphere at Riot.
You realize that you do need pants today, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll change after
Look at this.
too.
You're gonna change in between games?
Tammet comes up behind me and he goes, hey, do you want to go to DreamHack and cast with Freak? And at this point, DreamHack was literally what I had wanted to do for my entire life. I realized that my dream had absolutely come true. I was going to be able to not have to work a day in my life because I did something I loved, but also work as hard as I can at that because it doesn't feel like work.
Gentlemen, morning. C-Drive, Sidewinder, Parallel, Convergence. We need to talk to the champion creators and be like, make easy to commentate skill names. Almost time to get ready for the show. Everybody's lined up outside. Gotta get changed, get it ready. So what are your thoughts on Echo? TF against him is really good.
Well, I imagine he would be.
TF just gold card all day. So I don't think makeup ever bothered me.
That's at least okay.
I had 2 sisters that would do this.
It's totally not even that might be wrong.
Never a problem.
Do I make the little part shorter or the other part longer?
You would think after like a year we know how
A
to
little
do
part
this.
shorter.
Just about 40 minutes before we all go live, I get to hang out for a while. So what I'm gonna do is make sure everybody's got their stats, make sure everybody has, you know, water, Red Bull. All right, so who do we think could be random picks today?
Echo.
But to have the guys that we have now, they're so dedicated and passionate, being around people that love to do what you love to do all day just drives you to do it more.
The thing I didn't notice the first time I watched it is he swept the brush. So
Oh,
he,
so they could not
blocked,
tag
he
him.
blocked the vision, so Kid had to face check.
He's not gonna get the third. Oh, he runs. The way of the Wanderer, baby.
Sick duel.
You have a lot more people that are writers, the producers, the directors that know how things go. Things have just become so advanced that we can really focus on the game.
Man, that sounds really choppy.
Insurance sushi. About another champion be successful block. What is late by
Gonna start heading up. Crowd seems pretty pumped. We just had an amazing game going on. So let's get the casting. It's not going to happen. They are methodically and surgically removing gravity from the map one by one as they do the same with their turrets. Alltech is just forced to watch.
Thank you, gentlemen. CLG there dismantling gravity.
There's nothing I want more than to continue to cast, watch Riot grow, being somebody that was there from such an early position and in Riot's infancy in League of Legends. It feels like, you know, I grew up with that. And that's not something you can let go. You know, you kind of got to see that through to the end. And the end isn't anywhere near right now.
Like I said, heat-seeking coming happen. They are methodically and surgically removing. Gentlemen, hello everyone. I am Raving Division the Third, and with me is...
Yeah, that guy is just awesome. I mean, I got to cast with him for years, right? We went to season 1 together. I have so many just fun, silly stories from hanging out with the guy. Riv's just an awesome person, and I'm glad he gets to do what he loves now, man. It's a great place to be.
Yeah. Without a doubt, an honor and a privilege to be working with Rivington Bislin III. Well, let's send it over to the man himself to get us back onto the Rift.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I would like to take a quick moment to thank two people that supported me the entire time throughout my dreams and my endeavors. Thank you, Mom, and happy Father's Day, Dad. And be sure to call all of your fathers out there because your eyeballs are about to be fixated on some NALCS for the next 3 hours. We're starting it off with Gravity versus Team Solo Mid. And both of these teams start the day tied in second place, but are hungry to break away from the pack. Let's see if they can do it.
Yep, TSM, they're only one game behind first place, but rarely do you see a team that's on the top of the standings that are so disappointed with their performance. You know, they've set the bar so high and they have their coaching staff with such high expectations that they're no longer just happy to get wins. Anything short of complete domination is considered a failure for these guys.
Absolutely. While Gravity don't have the same legacy of being a top team, they do want to legitimize their place in the standings here. And taking down the defending champions, I'd say it's a pretty good step.
Indeed, it would be. Gravity, they're looking like basically a better version of themselves from last split. Alltech has been a great addition to the team. He's working well in the bottom lane with Bunny Fufu, who's taken up that mantle of shot calling and went 4-0 and 15 as Thresh yesterday. And they split as well. Even the players that stayed on the team, Hanser, he's really emerged as another strong solo lane for the team. You know, despite that chrono base yesterday, he did go 9-2-6 on Echo. And from last split, Hanser has also improved his kill share and in dealing more of his team's damage to champions. You know, that's very important because it gives Gravity, you know, another power player that they can rely on.
That's right. Hopefully everybody can show up in a game instead of just a few people. When you make that number more, usually you get better results. Looking at today's battle for the mid lane, Keen says it may be their jungler move he will need to rely on.
Move is different playstyle with Centaurin. I think Move's more focused on visions and warding. But Centaurin's more like ganking mid, I guess. So maybe if I get vision of their jungle, I can play aggressive against Bjergsen.
Yeah, Move is definitely focused on vision, laser focused.
You could say that.
That's his #1 priority.
Highest killed, highest placed. Yeah, that's Move. Let's check out the starting lineups and see if he can get that number to go up. On the blue side, it's going to be Gravity. In the top lane is Haunter. In the jungle is Move. Keen in the mid lane. Alltech at AD carry. Bunny Fufu at support. And Cop at coach.
And on the red side, it's Team Solo mid. Up top is Dyrus. In the jungle, Santorin. Santorin in the jungle. Mid, Bjergsen. AD carry, White Old Turtle. And support, Lustboy. And of course, we will get our shot of Loco soon.
Absolutely. Did you have a little jungle envy? You just want to be back in the game. You're like, at jungle, Cope, Santorin.
I've never done that.
I know you haven't. I thought we might have had
Soon.
that. Soon. Well, we're about to be into picks and bans here, so let's get our eyes glued to see what both of these teams feel like will be their favorable picks coming into this matchup. See Haunter and Lustboy closest to your screen here. Cop on the left, Loco Doco on the right, ready to feed information to his teammates. It's actually pretty interesting to know that when coaches came on, there was a big change for the mentality of champion select, and that fact that when there wasn't a coach, the teammates couldn't actually agree on a champion sometimes, which seems weird, right? You kind of practice, you go into a game, and you can't agree on the same thing.
All right, let's see here. Agreed upon bans. Very obvious so far.
Oh, yeah. That's not going to be a
Ryze and Echo, power picks in their current state of the game. Alistar, basically #1. Supports off of the table. Aurelia, though, a target ban for Dyrus. Very, very rare target ban for Dyrus because he played so much Gnar and Maokai. An interesting little wrinkle here from Gravity. Some research being done by them. And with the recent trend of Team Solo Mid putting more and more of their resources into Dyrus in the top lane, they don't actually want him to be on a top lane carry champion. And they kind of want to corral TSM, force them into their previous play style so they can just look at mid. This is actually a really interesting thing. Gravity were one of the only teams to beat Team Solo Mid last split.
Right.
And they did it off the back of Keen's Urgot.
Yep.
Keen's Urgot, the surprise, this was one of the first times that he used it was against Bjergsen in that mid lane. And it really set Bjergsen off, so much so that he had to go pick it up, put in a whole week of pure Urgot play just to learn the champion for mid.
We saw Keen on it yesterday, getting dove under turrets, turrets hitting him with aggro, and he's still picking up a few kills before he gets out of the situation. He really knows the boundaries of that champion, so whatever Bjergsen picks, it's still going to be a tough matchup. Kalista and Rek'Sai, the females being picked up by the side of Team Solo Mid here. We'll see if they can do some damage with those. We just saw Nian getting a quadra kill on that Kalista, and Santorin will be able to provide his early game jungle with this pick.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the things with TSM's coaching staff. They really want to go by the power picks. So basically straight down the line. You know, Ryze, Echo, Hecarim off the table. Alistar gone, so they're going to pick up the Kalista from the bottom lane. And Rek'Sai, since Gragas is banned, that is #2 for power picks of junglers. There's not really much surprise in the next double round pickup. Annie goes so well with Kalista. It just brings so much control from the bottom lane, a very scary lane to gank as well for the enemy. And Dyrus, as I said before, the Gnar, very common for him. He's going to take that pretty much heads up skill matchup with Rumble and Haunter in the top side.
Interesting. Xin Zhao being picked up with the Tristana as well. Something Alltech had played recently.
Right. Alltech and quite a few players over in Asia, LPL and LCK, seeing a bit of Tristana every now and then, rising in popularity. That combined with Rumble, a lot of mid game here. Xin Zhao. So the thing about Xin Zhao, he's a great champion. I'm a big fan. The only thing that he does lack is an escape. So with Move concentrating so heavily on vision, he has to be very, very careful with the first line of vision that he sets up. Now, every consecutive line of vision is much easier and much safer because you can rely on your standing wards to place them at the correct time. But his first line of vision, either he's going to need to take Thresh with him for a lantern or something, because it is dangerous for Xin Zhao to go into enemy territory. If the opponent laners collapse first, he has no escapes. He is great in all-ins. He's a great duelist. He can kill Rek'Sai if it's a one-on-one heads-up. However, he's going to have to be very, very sure of his route before he decides to take it.
Gravity's pick ban. Those first 2 picks were actually pretty much flexes for Haunter, so they were kind of trying to throw Team Solo Mid off with the Rumble, and the Urgot pick first. They're like, you don't know where these are going, kind of.
Yeah, I guess,
yeah, we do.
yeah, Altec could have put in some time on the Urgot as well.
Absolutely. Trying to play the mind games right out of the gate. Cop knows what he's doing, throwing down the authority for Champion Select.
Yeah.
So the other to throw TSM off, though.
Yeah. The other thing about the Tristana, not only is it the tower pushing, but the vast majority of the games, not every single game that we've seen her in competitive play, but a large portion of the games have been directly into Callista. Because she's just targeted, she doesn't have to land skill shots on Callista. Also because her damage is front-loaded, and she can get off a large amount of burst before Callista can stack up Ren stacks on her. The 1 versus 1 is definitely possible.
Cop having some problems.
All right.
You got it.
Dang, I thought they had something cool planned. Loco and Cop.
Cop just fiddling because Bunny Fufu was playing with it. He couldn't.
I like that a lot of the coaches have known each other for a really long time, too,
It is
in
good.
the North American LCS, because a lot of them were pro players as well. A lot of history.
Absolutely, except the cool ones become casters. The game is taking shape, so let us know who you think will come out on top. Tweet at LOL Esports with either the hashtag GVWin or hashtag TSMWin as we get into this matchup. We're seeing some more Tristana play from Altec coming in here as well. We saw Piglet kind of play that as they beat Team Impulse back, I believe, in week 3. So we'll see if we can get Altec going back on some good play there. Team Solo Mid, however, looking to come down hard here and keep a good record going for the summer split. We're going to be on to the Rift here. Gravity versus Team Solo Mid.
All right, Bjergsen opting for the sustain opening here. Not only does he have Crystalline Flask, but also Biscuits. So
I love Biscuits.
Going deep into his pockets here. Never mind. Nobody wants to hear about sustain.
I do, Kobe. I do, tell me.
Take a look at this 3-man invade here.
The vision. Ooh, Altec's vision. The ward wars have begun.
Interesting, because Bjergsen and Dyrus here cut off, but nobody sees, none the wiser. And it's only Lesboy down on the bottom side to try and get a deep ward. And he doesn't place it too deep. So they're looking for that Xin Sao jungle path. Let's see. Initially, Callista heading topside. It looks like Gravity are going to head bottom. So if Turtle goes into that... Oh, okay, so he's just going to wait. They probably won't be seen until it's too late to swap. Ward does see the ghost, though, I think.
You see it on the mini-map. They're pinging it out right now. That ghost just got seen as it hooked around. They will make themselves to the top side. No switch.
So
looks like they're doing Krugs.
Yeah, so both of them are actually going to do Krugs. So that's actually an early signal. Both teams should now know, since neither team is grouping up grouping up the minions in the side lane, both of these teams have to push. They are not going to do the freeze. They are not going to have the wave at their turret. Both of these duos are going to have to shove the lane. So already, Dyrus is jumping on the minion wave. He's going to try and get as many minions as possible. He's trying to get some gold and run out of there before he gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar. As dangerous for top laners to go for early CS. He has no idea. Now he's got timer on Bunny Fufu. He can get a couple more CS, try and snag one before Bunny arrives.
So kind of seeing their for sure path there onto Santorin. Although Lustboy's ward did not see move, they know what side of the jungle he's going to be starting on from not seeing him as well. No info still works in this game.
Yep, Rumble double jungle goes just fine.
Let's see where they decide to go from here. Definitely had a different start to our previous game with the top laners a little mixed up and running about. So this one may start off a little bit more volatile here.
Interesting ward that he uses his trinket ward on the actual strong side of Gravity. Keen would normally hug this side of the river anyway, since TSM strong side is up top. There's by the way, the strength of Urgot, which is the early level harass here.
Right.
Hit level 3, you just land one of those and you get a couple acid hunters off. Great harass from Keen. But yeah, Trinket Water side, pretty normal here. Gravity are going to try and sneak their 3-man defense squad into the turret. TSM are not able to cut them off because they have Darius in the bottom lane. So all 3 lanes of experience being absorbed by both teams. Pretty much the only change here is that Gravity have shown their support and jungler on the top side. So Bjergsen doesn't have to worry about the mid lane gank, whereas Keen does. Keen respects it though. So all going according to plan for both sides. Standard play so far.
I really like to see Keen get as much as he can out in any of these ganks. See him a lot of times, even in the mid lane, if his flash is blown, he can still get himself kind of an advantage
Bottom
in a bad
lane,
situation.
Though, Tristana pushed up. Rek'Sai is making a way down here. Santorin looking to gank Tristana in the middle of the lane. That's really, really hard to do anything. Even burning a flash is fairly difficult because Altec already put an early point in his rocket jump. So he decides he's wasting his time. He's going to let Darius just soak up farm and back away.
Still keeping an eye on Move. He hasn't been able to really get too many wards down just yet, but he is still trying to get into the face of Santorin here. It looks like it might happen.
I do like, Santorin going to go, or Move going deep into the enemy jungle. This is one of those fairly dangerous choices that I talked about for Move. He puts so much emphasis on deep vision and controlling the vision from an early stage of the game that he makes, moves like that into the enemy jungle when, yes, Darius, if he collapsed, he would lose some minions to the turret, but they very well could have caught Move out in the jungle, especially with a Rek'Sai. Even if Move decides to burn his flash, TSM could collapse and grab the first blood there. But TSM, they've shown early on in the game, they have a really defensive mindset, and Santorin does not want to fight you early. They just take the farm, let Move have that deep ward.
Doing what he can. Like you were saying, getting in a little scary. We've seen Move mostly on champions like Jarvan, Rek'Sai, Gragas. Once they can kind of facilitate their own escape, dive through a wall, get out of the jungle, and dodge a team. So it becomes even scarier for him in this game, just on the Xin Zhao. Actually had Nunu as one of his first games, and they lost that one to Enemy. He wasn't really able to play the game he wanted. But he's definitely grown as a jungler here in the summer split at the LCS for his first time. Top lane, a little bit of love in favor of Altec, 53-47 in CS, and Keen doing the same thing he did to Golden Glue's Victor yesterday, just tagging him as much as possible. There's one flash, Santorin getting in for the pop-up. Emperor's Divide comes back, Bjergsen just hit 6. He gets it before Keen, and that means first blood going over for Team Solo mid. Lustboy actually caught in for the auto attack, I believe, on that one. Great job, Lustboy.
Roam from Lustboy just to come in at the very end, add some support in case there was a counter from Gravity. Santorin ganks mid, this time 6 minutes in, but it's been at least one gank 6 minutes or before pretty much all of their last few games towards mid lane. Lustboy also taking the opportunity to roam down the river, as we said. Bjergsen off to the early start. Lustboy, though, snags away the kill in the end, so he'll get that first blood money for himself on Annie. More impactful burst when he goes in. A flash stun, I guess.
All of that really playing in the favor of Team Solo bit nicely. Bjergsen going down to sub 100 HP, still holds barrier knowing there wasn't a threat, so he's a summoner spell up on Keen in the mid lane still, as he blew both, thinking he could maybe get a kill going down.
Yeah, and we go back to the video that we had from Keen very early on. Move, he got a super deep ward at Wolves, but Santorin had just cleared that side of the jungle anyway. And Santorin actually going for ganking mid, as Keen expected him to do. Bjergsen is going to come out with the lead in the mid lane, punishing Urgot's lack of a dash. We always point out the mid laners without built-in mobility spells. Flash is not going to be enough to save him.
You can see the roam as well from Bunny Fufu, hanging out in mid, secure that for Keen, quickly, and making sure he has an easy lane without that flash right away. Heads back to the bottom lane. That's where the shot calls are coming from, Bunny Fufu, so he's probably letting everybody know. Got this turret, we'll clear it out. Let's make something happen, team.
All right, so Tristana taking her first victim. The first tower goes down. Now, let's see if they rotate him. He's got a BF sword, so this Tristana can murder outer turrets. Because all the presence is being committed to Dragon for Gravity, I really do like that equalizer from Hanser. Oh,
yeah, oh, indeed. Rinse and repeat on this guy in the mid lane. Cannot get out of the situation, gets stunned up again, even in the hyperkinetic position. Reverser and Bjergsen. 2 assists now, that 1 kill to Santorin and 1 to Lustboy.
So Keen trying to get some vision for himself this time, but even going to place vision like that, it's so dangerous. He has no flash, Urgot has no built-in dash, so very vulnerable target, and they knew that TSM had a very, very high likelihood of being on the top side of the map. Because they're taking Dragon right now, and we saw it in Hanser's playstyle. Gravity were expecting TSM top. That's why Hanser ulted the minion waves to try and stall the push and save his turret up topside.
Oh.
So Keen venturing over to try and get vision for himself.
You can see they still want it, knowing the possibility of that equalizer being down. If they can get vision on more members, it could have been another dive for the top lane onto Hanser. Looks like they gonna hold off on that for now and move and make his way into the other side of the jungle here. He's definitely getting his ward clears this game, but not as many ward placed.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, that's the problem with relying on only vision and not presence, actually, in the mid lane. The first gank as well. Move had just seen Santorin in his own jungle, but Keen was so shoved up in the lane, really needed that CS, and Move very rarely commits his actual body to protect lane. Looking more to set up vision instead and have people work around it.
So 0-2 for him, trying to stay safe now. Usually the lane is there because Keen's causing too much trouble, but now they're there because they just want more kills from him. That flash almost about to come up, maybe could get in his head thinking he's playing a bit aggressive to make a move on that. And they're just on the wing again to take control. Really focusing on being in Bjergsen's back pocket.
Yep, TSM did trade Dragon for it.
Wait, no! That's not what you wanted to do! That played right into Bjergsen! He gets the Emperor's Divide exactly the way he wants it. Move is finally there at the right time and able to fight on Santorin, but it's going to be too close to the turret. Move can get back to safety, but what a funny play.
Yeah. Keen, he was going for the 1v1 play. If that was 1v1, all right, Turtle gets hooked. All in on Altec.
Ooh, jumps right on him. The rocket and buster shot. He gets the reset to kind of hop, skip, and a jump just to the right of Lustboy. Lustboy looking like he could throw Tibbers back in for a bit more damage on the DPS. Santorin can finalize this. Teleport's coming in at the same time. Dyrus knocked. Oh, he is coming in with the Gnar bar out. Full Gnar against the wall for 2 members, and they're able to clean up Bunny Fufu. There goes Altec. He stayed way too long. And Team Solo Mid gets some cross-map goodies.
It was a good ult from Hanser, but a better ult from Dyrus.
Yeah.
With Gnar bar charged up, his Gnar ultimate even turned Hanser away from them, so his Flame Spitter was off into the wall and didn't do any damage. Really, really great play there. Answer from Dyrus, immediately responding and turning that around. The beginning of the fight, though, is the thing that I wanted to highlight about that Tristana pick into Kalista I was talking about. That's the front-loaded damage. That's the burst of the ult on top of the E. And you see the difficulty that Turtle has. All you have to do is target the Kalista.
Oh, a little too antsy there. Knows he can get a damage trade in to clear the turret off. But things are looking good. Definitely something patched up that plagued Team Solo Mid in the future was the timing of those teleports. And on point. Absolutely, without too many resources even being given to Dyrus this game. He's kind of been on his own in the 1v1, comes up big on that. So Team Solo Mid grabbing about 1,000 gold lead here as we approach 13 minutes.
Dyrus is also going for the Frozen Heart rush on Gnar, by the way. So he's looking to be that threat in the side lane. He's going to try and pressure Hanser for the next time that they have teleports up. Giving him that extra slow will do a lot. I'll take a really big fan of the stutter step. Tristana.
He's a happy elf. Does what he pleases. Minute 30. We'll see this replay actually again right quick from the top lane. See how they went aggressive.
Right, so remember,
initial hook.
It was the hook to start it off.
Yeah.
And here it is. All you have to do is get the E on him, you pop your rapid fire, a couple of attacks. He only got even one attack off, and then the rocket jump into ult combo, and that's the burst.
I love
Not
that.
even enough time for the Kalista ultimate into Annie ultimate reaction. Doesn't delay them enough. Kalista really thrives on being able to chase you down in the longer lane, stack up the Ren stacks, get the slow, chase you, burst with Annie. They weren't the ones to get the initiation though. That matchup does, swing if Annie and Kalista are the ones to get the initiation, obviously. Santorin here, looking to even things up.
Oh boy, Fate's call is up. Somebody could go down here. That might be a Bunny Fufu focus. Altec will jump.
It's a really safe lane if Bunny Fufu plays safe though. If Bunny
Lantern.
plays
Boom.
back, then they're fine.
Oh, Lustboy, kind of an aggressive walk on that one. Could have been a towel, but Altec still wants to approach the turret because they see Santorin. The jig is up. They've given themselves up here. Move coming down, however, as the fight in the top lane is going to keep these guys with teleport down still up there fighting, so they cannot participate here in the bottom lane, even if they wanted to. Dragon, 30 seconds right now. That could help. Whoever gets the back into Dragon could definitely pick that one up. TSM looks like they can grab the turret here.
Keen knows he's got a 1 versus 1 this time, but because of the previous ganks, he's too far behind.
If Bjergsen gets this kill, that was a perfect outplay on the Hunter. He dodged that from Keen and completely outplayed him in that situation. It worked in his favor. Bunny Fufu is going to try to get out of this one as Wild Turtle goes down. Altec still firing back a few shots as he walks away, but it's not going to be enough to really make an impact here. He goes in. He gets locked down. Lustboy had his passive energized, but one final shot is able to come up well for Altec.
4 people down for Gravity, they lose complete control of the map. Losing objectives all over. Bottom turret goes down, top turret goes down. And Rek'Sai is in their red side of the jungle, able to drop all his wards off from his sight stone. So Santorin gets deep vision after the play as well. That's basically an objective as well. So 2 turrets, deep vision, and Dragon for TSM.
Ooh, everything working out in their favor of these fights is just one by one. It's not even the team has to be involved in it. Everybody's getting their own resources by their own means, and that means very, very bad things for Gravity right now. Team Solo Mid wins lane, they most likely win game. We just saw him lose lane and win against Team Liquid. So it's going to be even tougher for Gravity to come back here.
was the one who got caught first.
Right, in the bot.
So they burn the lantern and he's still dead. It's basically a 2 versus 3 at this point. But another hook landing, there's the burst combo again.
There's some balls by Bunny Fufu. Going into straight DPS from Tibbers and the rest of that team.
Bunny Fufu
trying to get your
takes
carry
his
fed.
death sentence very, very, very seriously.
It's a literal death sentence. Nice. Gets the flash out, gets the kill, but we'll see if it's worth in the following time to come. 9-4 is TSM still picking up kills that they want. Not too many objectives have kind of cascaded from these kills. It's all just fights and back right now as people try to get more core items. Like you said, that frozen mallet by Dyrus getting finished up now, so he can really be a nuisance to Haunter in the top lane.
Yeah, looking very, very rough for Gravity now. No outer turrets remaining, and TSM with a huge gold lead. This is the problem with trading early dragons for control of, the game pre-10 minutes. Gravity completely lost control of their topside jungle as well as mid lane when they went for that, with Keen going down early to all the ganks.
All right.
Dyrus, though.
4-man, 3-man right now. We got Altec on the backside for the escape, but they are all turned away from the turret. Dyrus, once again, keeping himself alive, very close to gnawing out as he flashes away.
1v4, that's all 4 members of Gravity committed to the top side, so TSM are going to turn it around and gain a lot of damage. Ground on bottom, Keen getting surrounded. Here comes Move, though. He's looking to try and answer and help Keen out.
Dyrus teleport up if he did need to come in with the Gnar. Like you said, damage being grabbed all around. Not too much able to come from mid in that instance, but Wild Turtle was doing some work on the bottom lane. Give himself a bit of a CS lead here as we approach 18 minutes in. 4,000 gold in the lead for Team Solo Mid. Taking down quite a strong Gravity. We mentioned how good for Gravity it would be coming in this season, 5-2 already, but to take down Team Solo Mid, feel pretty good.
Yes, they do. And they've set up camp inside the red buff jungle of Gravity. But Gravity, no. That's all Fog of War. We will cede that territory to you. Try and play on the top side of the map here where they do have some vision. Just completely giving up the turret because it's so dangerous to go into that side of the map.
Wild Turtle getting all the alone time. Still giving him good protection, though. I think it was actually just curved around the corner. They didn't see Lustboy backing specifically, but that ward was what they wanted to clear out, then seeing Lustboy. So they get to safety right now. 50 seconds on Baron. Not really on anybody's docket just yet, but I'm sure we'll get more vision around that area, as it's already Gravity who's trying to keep those wards placed. Move finally gets his sight stone. He's been off to work. There you go. Trying to keep the team safe. Not too much CS lead for either lane.
Not successful so far for Move.
No.
Not able to control vision or get off the counter ganks that he wanted. Santorin, this game, definitely 1 to 2 steps ahead. As far as the concentration mid from TSM paid off, and they've been able to use that to really control mid game here. Santorin.
Keen was saying in the mid game, oh boy, the mid lane is actually where we're at right now. A nice equalizer goes down. That separates actually the majority of the DPS. Bjergsen's on the other side, just cooking away. Move doesn't realize Shurima's legacy is knocking him down. He's out of the fight for 30 seconds along with Bjergsen. Gravity staves off a fight, but they still lose a member.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. He skirted the full range of turret while tanking it the entire time and committed to the all-in. 1-4-1.
Over the wall, Lantern for Altec. Lustboy easily getting a stun out on that one. No other decision need to be made. Bunny Fufu looking for a play on the flash, and that was going to be under the turret as well.
Darius looking to take him out.
Hops on over, pushes back Keen. He's been the guy that they focus quite a bit in this game, and once again, he's in it. Bunny Fufu dragged through. He is able to take down Lustboy, and now it's Altec hopping over. He says, "King me for another one," but actually the reset doesn't get him anything else. 2 for 1 so far as Dyrus back out of the fight.
Ooh, Altec is getting pretty strong at the moment. He's got the Zeal to back up his Infinity Edge with a little bit of extra crit, and he's already becoming a major threat. Not having any qualms about jumping into the middle of the fight either, into the front line. Try and chase off Santorin and ult Dyrus back for the team. Not enough damage though, and Gravity gonna have to be satisfied with just a couple kills. Guess I'm still with a very strong gold lead here. Let's get the start of this. Bunny gets the hook into Lantern and Flay.
Gets him on it, yeah.
That was some very quick mouse movement there, 3 different directions. Darius with the flank. Rage bar prepped.
Yep, coming in without TP, so it can be utilized a little bit later if they want.
Altec had to flash that,
Altec
actually.
did flash, yeah.
Another hook on the turtle there as well from Bunny was able to secure.
Bunny Fufu has Lee Syndrome with Thresh. Just hooks it, gotta take it. Going for a ride. It's paid off a few kills for his 80 carry, so hashtag worth in that sense. But he's also got himself killed in those 2 situations. Cooldown boots for him. More hooks, more CC, more peel.
Cooldown. Max Thresh.
Max
really
Thresh.
great for making plays.
Yeah, he already tried to flash hook under the turret earlier.
Yeah, not so good about saving people from Annie though. So there will be no Mikhails for the foreseeable future for Gravity.
Right.
So whoever does get stunned up by Annie or Gnar is going to have a long
time to be placked up against the wall and just locked down. Team solo mid, with the strength they have gotten so far in the game, easily able to take Dragon number 3 of the game, number 2 to them. Not really putting a timer on that just yet, or really have to worry if Gravity wants the next one. Team solo mid doing very well, doing things methodically, playing their game. They heard even after the Liquid game, the TSM saying, you know, we won. It was a disappointing win, right? They're never happy with it, and they always want to do better.
See what they can do with this lead. Because they do want to try and press this advantage. They've had all outer turrets down for quite some time. Vision has been controlled decently.
More
since then.
upgraded sweepers and trinkets on the side of TSM.
TSM, yeah, that's actually one trend that I've noticed with TSM is their solo laners for a long time are the two to upgrade yellow trinkets. They get the double sight zone plus double upgraded yellow trinket. So TSM have the ability to just cover the map in wards. All they have to do is, use those trinkets on cooldown, keep them up.
Trinkets in general were a great thing for Team Solo Mid. We remember a few seasons back when Bjergsen started, I think he went some 17 or 18 games without placing a pink ward, and the whole entire team had also placed them. He was a stingy mid laner in the beginning, but now he gets everything he wants from his own plays. He'll place those pink wards. Trinket upgraded, as we said already, and Team Solo Mid not looking like they're having any trouble right now controlling the map, but also not putting themselves in a dangerous situation. Well, Gravity to get back.
Yeah, they're trying to make use of, Dyrus on his frozen mallet Gnar, creating the pressure in the bottom lane. They've got the teleport play prepped, trying to sweep out Baron Vision here, draw Gravity into a bad spot. Gravity do have the Shin Sao, and Move has shown that he is very quick to commit to the fight. As I said, he has no way out, so if TSM control Vision, they could try and bait in Gravity. Either Move or Keen are the prime targets for TSM to snag with their possibility of an Annie pick.
That Talisman of Ascension is up for Lost Boy, so they can get into a spot. Dyrus, is he hooking back around here? He's going to be seen by wards, and he doesn't have a full Gnar bar, so this may be a bit of an odd engage for Team Solo Mid. Move, knowing he actually had to use that audacious charge to get out of this situation. Good thing they had a Thrash, but he gets hit by Lost Boy on the top side there. Fate's Call from Wild Turtle brings him out, and a little bit of maybe here or there from both teams, and they didn't get anything they wanted.
Oh, they're going to put up the tower here and then swing over to Baron, so they've got a little point of control in the mid lane.
The damage on Move to get him out for Smite is actually very big.
Got to come all the way from base. He did buy home guards for that purpose, though.
He's running. He's got to move. Close to...
Turtle trying to fake it there. Turtle was trying to...
We see you. Oh, an equalizer absolutely cuts down Lust Boy. Bunny Fufu can't make the play, but that death sentence hit Wild Turtle long enough to lock him down for Altec to come in as well. And they are doing what they need. Dyrus almost gets hit out by the Buster shot. He's down to a sliver of health, and Bjergsen stayed alive, which makes it harder for Gravity to move forward.
Haunter there. Great aim, able to land the Harpoon as well as his ultimate to finish Lust Boy and get the 2-for-1 for Gravity.
Slows on slows.
That's huge for them because TSM were not able to complete their vision play.
Yeah.
Committing to 2 yellow trinkets and only 2 sweepers makes it a lot more difficult, especially if everybody's not willing to purchase a pink ward, willing to keep a slot available for a pink ward. It's really hard to have a complete vision denial play if you do this route, maybe a bit stingy, as you said, for TSM going with those double trinkets. Lust Boy flashes into the rest. All right, so that was just he flashed basically at the same time as the equalizer started, I guess. So
in Santorin, Bjergsen had just placed the ward over the wall where Haunter was as well. So Lust Boy flew into that one thinking that Team Solo Mid would still have the upper hand.
Yeah. Having vision of Rumble, you don't really get an indicator of what way the equalizer is going to go. Haunter, I think he just had a really good prediction of Lust Boy's going to try and flash away from our team, away from danger. But instead of up the river, dies on the red carpet.
Burn him down. Nicely played there. Haunter had a great game on Hacker Room yesterday. 2-0-3 now within this game versus Dyrus 1-0-2. So the top laners again showing up big. And Haunter more so in that play that they were able to kind of scratch back into this game.
Yeah, I think the big, point for Gravity, if they can come back in this game, is going to be Altec as well. He's got a substantial lead over Turtle, not only in CS, but also kills. So Altec is 2,000 gold ahead of Wild Turtle right now. Plus, Bunny keeps landing hook after hook onto Turtle. So that basically the big difference for Gravity is going to come from the AD carry position, while Altec, as we've seen, very willing to jump in and commit to the fight in order to get off as much DPS as he can. We'll see if that does, backfire, as we've seen before.
And to Haunter's credit, that was an Echo game, not a Hector. To correct
Oh,
myself
yeah.
on that. So still playing well for the team. Looks like he could try to provide a little bit more with this teleport from the bottom lane. He may walk up right behind Dyrus, and they could get a pinch here, but they're also trying to avoid TSM.
Yeah. Right now, Altec and Turtle, the discrepancy in items is actually not that big right now because Altec's sitting on a bunch of this gold. But the Infinity Edge over Bloodthirster is definitely going to increase the damage. Let's see. Here's the vision play. Even with that ward, though, Gravity are having a hard time getting over there because Dyrus is zoning them. Dyrus is able to keep them there.
What a game of Team Yo-Yo they just played between the blue buff area and mid lane. Bunny Fufu very hurt. Move is the next one that could go down. Lust Boy gets hit up by the equalizer. Haunts are going to try to fly through with the rest of the team here. Does not look like Keen can get a target.
Oh, he didn't see him!
Altec does not see the shift across the brush into the fog of war. It looks like they're on to Dyrus, and he should just be able to hop away from this one.
Who's Altec looking for? All right, let's go for Dyrus now.
Yep. While Turtle trying to hop his way with his martial cadence into a safe spot. Oh, he's flashed on. Not much you're going to do there. Suppressed as well by the Urgot ultimate. And back and forth, these guys are trading blows 30 minutes into the game. 12 to 14 now.
So Gravity get +1 on kills. However, the Baron buff will still be on Bjergsen because of that sneaky escape through the brush, not exposing himself at all. It would have been death for him if it been seen. And he comes in to answer. Dyrus here charged up. He's dead.
That's already a dead. Yeah, that's already a dead Haunter. You can't do much. You need to get out now. A double kill coming up for Bjergsen way after that fight. And now Team Solo Mid has a lot of control on the map with Haunter and Keen down for 40 seconds each. Top lane pushing in for them. That'll have to be held, or somebody's going to have to be held accountable for that one quite soon from the side of Gravity. Dyrus is already cleaning up bot lane. They're getting everything that they want right now. Doesn't look like it's going to be pushed off of this mid turret either.
Yep, that one's going to go down. There's the Baron empowered minions. Bjergsen bringing to play. He immediately sets up the turret as they rotate up top as well. So there's pressured mid still, even after they leave. And they get this turret as well. That one's probably going to go down. Altec is making his way over, but so much to deal with from that mid lane. That's going to get popped very, very quickly.
That Arise damage definitely hurt. And, oh, now the denial of resources comes in. Not a huge factor here for the side of Gravity. Keen's got that Muramana finished up. But let's see this fight one more time. All the way across.
Dyrus was trying to zone them. He bought enough time to finish Baron, but there's the commitment in. Oh, so Move ulted away as the Flay from Bunny brought him back. Altec's going to chase on the top side. And Haunter had a pretty good ultimate there. From the, I don't think you see that animation if you're Altec, but
you're always in the box.
He might have had his on another side. Anyway, he does get hit by the backswing of that boomerang, so he gets slowed and not able to finish off Dyrus either.
And the flash right in.
Yeah, he's pretty dead.
Even with the overheat, he was like, we still got him. I'm going to overheat here, but if you can connect the position reverser, we have it. So good communication as everybody moves on here for the next fight. Shurima shift. Nice try. Almost got himself over. Got the flash out of Move. Dyrus trying to play this one a little bit more aggressive in the mid lane. They are spreading Gravity thin here. You can see them as they walk as a team, but they don't know where the top, mid lane, where do we push? They got to make a decision soon and maybe just all go on the same call is the way to do it. Dyrus, when he gets down from Narc, could be that point. Oh, nope, not what you want to do. A great and a flash into the wall. They swapped Bjergsen over, but it did not help. Bjergsen still able to shifting stance himself across the wall. Bunny Fufu took initial damage. The follow-up damage is still there before he even had a chance to go back because he was trying to Dark Passage Keen into a safe spot. The I think I can take this fight situation just played against Gravity so hard as they fall down one after the other. Now TSM to enter their base. This could be an inhibitor turret.
Yep. Got a minion wave right here. Definitely going to take this one down. Inhibitor after as well.
Yeah, that's a long time on the clocks. Perseverance from Team Solo Mid coming up strong on the fights. Great pressure to Keen in the mid lane. Just kind of paid off all around the map. And Dyrus teleports really started to catapult the lead that they had. Looks like no trouble right now. Almost a 10,000 gold lead as they now go to clean up their waves. Get back on the rift.
Yep, TSM just going to go ahead, pick up that bottom wave as well.
Yeah.
More money waiting for him.
It's huge.
Everybody capped out as far as inventory.
Means you already have your wards down or not. Wards are going to start being really, really scarce when this starts to happen and the trinkets are down. So it's all about having the right spot at the right time. Things get real scary. Wow, Turtle to clean this bottom wave up for himself. 254 to Altec's 328 in CS. Not really factoring into the games if Altec can't stay alive enough to put out the DPS that he has.
Let's try in here. Keen actually is having the roughest of times staying
Yeah.
alive. We're talking about survival. The Urgot.
His plan was to be able to pressure Bjergsen once they had the vision, but they never got the vision.
Yeah, his
It
plan
never
was
panned out.
1v1 me, bro. Team Solo Mid does not play by those rules.
It's Team Solo Mid, but that's only a trick. There's always more members. The mind games. His Maw of Malmortius already built up as he tries to still do damage while staying safe from Bjergsen. Whoa! Right over the wall, they drop him down. That's a shutdown for Hanser onto Bjergsen there. Keen making sure he can get in for some more shots, but they're kind of stuck on the minions right now, and they couldn't follow up. A flash forward from Altec. That's going to be another kill as he capitalizes on taking down TSM members, but Dyrus always off doing his own thing. I never know what he's doing.
That was the teleport for that gank expended from Gravity. However, 55 seconds on both neutral objectives, so even though they get control for a small amount of time, they can't do anything besides try and set up some more wards here. So yes, TSM did give away possession of the map for a little bit, but they had both side lanes pushed up. They had time, so it's not going to be too big of a deal.
Oh boy.
Altec looking to make it a big deal though. He's looking for some hero plays. He's trying his darndest to win this game for Gravity.
Last time that happened to somebody, Piglet fell in the trees. I wouldn't jump over trees.
All right, there's the teleport that we look. And the flank from Hanser coming in, home guard, move jumps in at the same time as Keen also flashed for that. So that was a teleport and a flash into ultimate to take Bjergsen off the map.
That was basically an instant teleport to start that. Hanser saw the movement and said, I'm going in. We can pinch at least Bjergsen.
He crit at the same time Turtle healed. If that was not a crit, Altec had already considered that shot the kill shot and started walking back. So with the move speed of heal, if that was not a crit, Turtle very well could have gotten away. But
sad.
He finds the RNG. Calculated, takes him down.
Dragon number 3 now going over Team Solo Mid, as I said, giving that third dragon overall when it went over to Gravity there. So not worried about giving a few over. They have 2 more before they get Aspect. We'll see if they can even, or see if they'll even want that rather, with the amount of pressure they can create on the map. Thornmail created up for Dyrus now. He starts to put magic resist in his build. Spirit Visage for him next. It's going to be nice for these guys. Not going to have to worry too much about what's coming on the side from Gravity, and they could probably just fight through these equalizers soon if Dyrus gets a good enough ultimate. Boom. Got it.
Bush control. Narbar running out, but that, even just that, probably not enough to dissuade TSM. There's the cooldown. Move goes in for it.
Miss. That was actually an explosive shot by Altec onto the minion. They can't add too much damage. A nice equalizer over 3 members, but it's not cooking too many. They move off it immediately. Bjergsen on the other side, shifting back over. The Shurima slide to safety. There's the swap on Dyrus. He hops out as well. Team Solo Mid can definitely assess this one again and go back into the fight, but it's just too much from the Flame Spitter. They have to avoid the AoE first before figuring out how they can go back in. The jugglers 1v1, a Jinzao Rek'Sai, and it's going to be both of them backing off. A double kill for Hanser as he comes up big again in the fights, splitting with the equalizer and finalizing kills.
They're going for the Desperate Baron as well. Altec and Hanser are carrying this so hard. What ridiculous damage. Even despite Bjergsen's magnificent drift there, he still goes down. And Gravity are going to grab the Baron. Rek'Sai ultimate is available. He doesn't use it to get back to the Wraith, so there's no possibility of a steal from Santorin. And Gravity with the comeback plays Move commits when he sees the mini form. He knows the rage won't build up because he's locked out, and they're able to take the fight. Holy, let's take another look at that one. So Dyrus here, yeah, he's like, all right, I'm mini Gnar, but I don't really care. You guys can initiate on us. But
on the tank.
Buddy, did you see that flash forward, hook backwards at Bjergsen? Mind games there, but Haunter basically solos him. Let's take a look at his drift. Whee! Oh, he flashes at the end as well to get the extra distance. But he goes down to some long range. Maybe it's who gets him? Oh, he must come back in. Let's take a look at this.
Flash, and then he fights right.
Oh, move!
Move flash.
He had a ward behind the Wraith pit. All right, I'm a fan now.
Had that not happened, those would have been soldiers flying up from over the wall, poking everybody in the face. So actually very heady play by Move there to quickly find Bjergsen once again in the fight. Wow, this has turned into an absolute bloodbath. 21-17 here as we move 38 kills into the game. We almost got a kill a minute, and I'm pretty sure we'll equal that within this next brawl. Team Solo Mid's trying to pressure something in the bottom, but nobody wants that wave enough.
I'm actually so proud of Move. That was a full tank style as well.
Making moves, man.
All right, well, now they're going to shut up mid lane here. They got that Baron buff you talked about. They want to make the most of this Baron buff. They have to reap a whole bunch of global gold with this Baron buff. Tristana's the champion to do it with.
Oh boy, it's just completely eating the turrets up with the explosive shot. And they'll start to move forward. Baroned up minions on the assist.
Yeah, explosive shot. Haunter's got the elixir as well. One turret down. They want to get a couple though.
Safe play by TSM. No waves really that Gravity has to clean up yet. They're going to get that push in the bottom lane in their favor, so they can kind of hang out, but they don't want to waste time.
Yeah.
Already have Haunter in the top starting something else.
They didn't quite set up the side wave beforehand because they are still behind and they don't want the possibility of a 4v5 engage from TSM. So they want to group up, ensure that they're going to get that mid turret. Here comes number 2. They will get the couple. Dyrus going to try and force it back.
So Team Solo Mid definitely okay with the fact of fighting on the front doorstep. The base obviously giving them more defense to pinch Gravity through, but will it be enough, especially with the minion waves coming in?
Dyrus did not build for the 1v1. Yes, he's trying to make the split play right now, but he has no magic resist. Haunter kicks his butt off the bottom side of the map, and Dyrus has to respect it. He gets chunked so low.
He gets eaten up even with the Guardian Angel. Can't do much. Cannot do much. Haunter coming through now. He is going to start getting a good push here. Dyrus actually Gnars out without it being able to help the team, so things are falling in favor of Gravity now, as long as they don't get too ahead of themselves.
Dyrus just no respect for the 1v1 with Haunter. Builds for the team fight. Obviously, the rest of Gravity are all attack damage.
Right.
But man, building for the rest of the team fight means he can't make that play that TSM just had to call for. So the shot calling not lining up with the itemization from TSM, and they lose an inhibitor turret because of it. Gravity got a lot of mileage out of that Baron.
Well, let's see if they can keep the pedal to the metal here, Kobe. You do have the teleport up from Haunter. Looks like he'll be having to clean up top lane here. He's waiting for the ultimate to come back up. He can kind of gauge the fight on those ults, which are at a low cooldown right now this far into the game. 42 minutes. We're waiting for really the next big fight to open up a base.
Corrosive charge, that's going to shred your armor, Dyrus. Even though you stacked all armor, Keen doesn't care. Here comes Jin Sao for a little bit more shred.
Everybody gets a piece, and to have the Guardian Angel popped before a fight, yeah, they're losing an inhibitor turret as well. Dyrus on the hashtag worth, hopefully that his team can get more than what was happening in the top lane.
Yeah. He had pretty good play for the beginning of the game, but definitely costing him now. Dragon picked up for TSM. That will be number 4, though, prepping that 6-minute play. Gravity trying to go for a base race here. TSM only commit turtle.
Yep. Also to note,
Can he get the solo?
Dyrus just went back.
It doesn't go for it.
Traded in his Ninja Tabi home guards for Merc Treads on the first tier.
He's gonna recall. Nobody from Gravity recalling. They're giving up the mid inhibitor.
Oh boy.
And Haunter's toast.
That's going to be Wild Turtle in the base. This is going to be TSM trying to hold off Gravity. Turtle's going to be able to grab the inhibitor here. Bunny Fufu would go down and instantly take that one. Wild Turtle has minion waves coming into the bottom. Does he go bot and let the team roam in? Let's see what they decide to go here. He might try to kill Bunny Fufu.
That's such a bad call from Gravity there to go for the 2-for-1 inhibitor trade. Nobody comes back, and TSM, so, all right, we got to give credit where credit's due. Turtle on the solo mission, TSM make the call to send him in, and he's able to get the job done. Good job, Agent Turtle.
Dyrus finally getting his home guards back on as he sold boots, we were saying before. 8-6 in turrets. Turtle making the inhibitors fall left and right.
I think Gravity, and especially since Bunny Fufu is probably the one making that call, he's the one inside the base. He had eyes on Turtle. As soon as they saw him, they need a recall from someone with home guards. But TSM able to get a 2-for-1 trade there. See how it plays out, though. As soon as the super minions start to take their toll, we will see the ramifications of that trade 1 minute down the line when TSM have the map pressure to set up vision around Baron. TSM have plenty of ward droppers, as we've been over, to litter the jungle with wards. Their problem is going to be clearing out Gravity vision. 2 Oracle Sweepers and 1 person with a slot open for pink wards. That's it.
One of the main things Bjergsen did say against Team Liquid was that when it got to the late game, and I don't know if this applies for Gravity as well, but they felt like they were mechanically better in team fights. Trying to start one there, they definitely want to test Bjergsen.
That was a flash from Move. Here comes...
No! Oh, no! Haunter welcomes himself into the fight with the equalizer. Wow, this could have been such a big play for the team to follow up on, but both teams make a little bit of whoopsie.
I know we've been talking you up, Haunter, but you're not that famous yet. No red carpet for you.
There's it! Oh no, just to the right, off to the side of Bjergsen's shoulder, and it's Dyrus inside the base. Another time when the call is for the fight and not the retreat right away, Kobe, and they're gonna lose a lot.
When it rains, it pours. It is all gone down the trash can for Gravity here. They are in trouble.
Oh, and Hibbers. No, it's just Hibbers. That's gonna be Bunny Fufu a little too far in. Yeah, shots coming in from Altec, but they aren't finalizing shots. Lustboy, Fate's call gets him out. They have the answer. And Team Solo Mid escapes death of one of their members. Bunny Fufu, a sliver of health, cannot participate in the fight anymore. Team Solo Mid back on control of the map.
Dyrus had alone time with the inhibitor, but opts to try and teleport in for some kills so they can end the game. That was a game-ending call. Gravity are able to, pull off some evasive maneuvers.
Oh boy!
Well, not all members.
70-second death timers here at 46 minutes. You can't be walking through the jungle with 600-700 HP, no matter what kind of tank you are. Bjergsen quarantines Gravity into the wall with Emperor's Divide, and it looks like Altec is able to take down Lustboy. He dives in, Bjergsen stabs him right in the throat with a soldier and takes him down. Santorin and Bjergsen in the same HP bow right now, absolutely taking down Gravity as the rest of the team stands on the front line. Dyrus coming up big once again as that tank.
What a way to end the game. That is an action-packed couple of minutes.
Oh, man.
As far as end game shot calling for Gravity and TSM, and that is going to be TSM taking the Nexus turrets.
A hard-fought game, 81,000 to 76,000 on the scoreboard at 47 minutes. Team Solo Mid take down Gravity. Woo! Ooh, indeed. A little bit more smiles on the face of Team Solo Mid. Plays were made, and you can't be angry about what Gravity got back. They manifested those plays themselves. It wasn't mistakes on Team Solo Mid. They got in strong. Bjergsen, he didn't make the mistake again that he made against Team Liquid. He didn't get too far forward and let an anti-Tibbers catch him out. None of those things set back Team Solo Mid this game.
There were some exciting plays in this game.
All right.
And we definitely did get to see Gravity put themselves in a situation where Bunny Fufu can get some very quality, high-pressure shot calling experience. Late game versus TSM, split push opportunities, base race opportunities. They're gonna have to go over that VOD though. The end not playing out quite as they would.
Really the crutch, it might just be seen from the scoreboard, Kobe, and while we know Keen can play well 0, 9, and 11 in the mid lane, you can't produce results if that happens from one of the lanes that usually carries. Team Solo Mid made it a priority to make sure Keen wasn't a factor this game.
They did, and their game plan was successful. Keen really kept down. He did get off some flash ultimates, though, to take down Bjergsen for some key points. Gravity had a couple of key points where they made counter moves to get back in this game and keep TSM honest. That was a exciting mid game for sure.
Yeah, very, very exciting. So Team Solo Mid kind of coming in vocally in their interviews about how they approach games for Team Liquid was to make sure Quas couldn't roam along with Dominate and Xpecial. This game, it was shutting down Keen, and they're sticking true to the strategy coming in. They're definitely a team that is now starting to translate a few of their games. As they say, it's hard from scrims into the game. There's something lost in that, and it didn't seem to happen that way today.
Yeah, I was definitely impressed with Altec's Tristana as well.
Yeah, playing it well. Picked it up a second time. We've seen it 3 times so far in the LCS, and we have more games to go. And for more on that close match, we're going to throw it down to Freak and TSM's mid laner.
Hey, thank you very much. Hey, Bjergsen. All right, you're talking to Lemon. I appreciate that. But anyway, we have Bjergsen here to talk to you guys as well now about that game. I got to say, your Azir performance in that game was actually really incredible. There was a specific move. You swerved through the entire team to get out in some random mid-game team fight. How many Azir games have you played at this point to learn this difficult mid laner?
I was really uncomfortable on a long time. I definitely played over 100, 150 games in the last month or two because it's a champion that had been in the meta, and it's a champion that it's not one of those champions I could just pick up and instantly play well. So I had to put a lot of work in, and it's finally paying off.
Hey, it seems like you've been finally transitioned well into playing more team fight mids. I know that was a bit of a transition in the spring split. You guys are trying new stuff. You weren't just playing LeBlanc every game. You think TSM is still growing rapidly as a team? You think you've got more styles in the book now?
I think we're definitely continuously growing our style, especially around top lane. Where Darius having consistent, really good games because we know how to play on Darius, and Darius know how we should be playing around him. So that's a big change for this season. And I think we're just constantly figuring out how we should be playing and what's the best for the team.
Can you talk to me more about that sort of transition, about putting a little bit more time and effort into Darius? Was that you come into practice saying, hey, let's try to gank for Darius 3 times this game, or what would it take to learn that style?
Well, it's not just oh, we need to gank top. It's oh, how does this matchup work? When is it volatile? When is it the opportunity that we can gank? What junglers are we going to need to pressure more on top side? There's a lot of things in pick ban, in preparation especially, that how we're going to play top lane. It wasn't just oh, we're going to gank top, or oh, we're not going to gank top. There's a lot of preparation going into it.
And absolutely. So you guys had a lot of preparation, of course, coming into this game, but when it broke down, it was a really hectic battle. There was a couple of pseudo base races, really, really interesting battles. As what I understand is the main shot caller for the team, how do you keep the team focused, and how do you understand the next 5 minutes goals when you're in a game that keeps going back and forth like this?
It's really hard to really shot call in a game like this because we have the control, but we're losing the team fights because they have a really strong team fighting comp with Rumble and when Tristana reached that late game point. So it was really hard because we were in control, but we just weren't able to win the team fights and win the game off of that. So it was very hard, but I'd say Centurion and Lustboy especially also helped out a lot with the shot calling. They're also doing a great job.
All right, one final question for you. Next week, CLG, they're the first place team right now. You get to take the throne back, maybe by beating them. How's that going to go?
Well, hopefully we're going to win. I can't really say for sure. We managed to beat them last time. I'd say the meta favored us really well. We got the LeBlanc, which kind of changes up the way the whole meta plays. So now that LeBlanc is out of the occasion, you're going to have to be playing more team fighting like we did this game. So we'll see if we can beat him with this style too.
All right, Bjergsen, thank you very much. Good luck in your games. And for now, we're going to send it over to the guys at the analyst desk to talk more about that game.
Thank you, Freak. I mean, that game was incredible. Back and forth, exciting, to say the least.
Yeah.
It's almost hard to decide where to begin.
At the end.
At the end. We'll,
Yeah.
we'll begin at the end, work towards the beginning.
Sure. I would say it was actually a disappointing ending to a really good game because the way that ended with the teleporting in and the missed equalizer, the inexplicable 2 inhibitor for 1 trade by Gravity against TSM, it didn't feel like that was an earned victory, even though the game itself was really good up until that point.
Yeah, so now if we look to how we got there, I am going to rewind us all the way back to the beginning. I want to look at the mid lane matchup because we had that video from Keen where he said a lot of this game is going to ride on the mid lane matchup and their ability to keep track of Santorin and keep him safe in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Well, what happened?
Yeah, there's a lane swap, and also that puts Lustboy on the top side of the map, and he kept roaming down, and they were making moves towards the mid lane that was very synergized. A lot of synergy there that was shown between TSM's mid lane and their jungle, and they were also doing it before Move had Sightstone. So he wasn't able to put up all the vision that he wanted around the lane to protect Keen.
Yeah, did not like the Xin Zhao pick by Move.
Yes.
Because he's had a very vision-centric style his entire time in the LCS. And as Kobe mentioned in the pick and ban phase, that is not something that Xin Zhao excels at. Also to speak to the early game, while TSM was building that advantage for Bjergsen in the mid lane, they were putting Wild Turtle in a little bit of a hole. Altec as Tristana will probably lose the 2v2 if you match that with Kalista Annie, but they gave Trista 1v1 lane against Gnar, and they gave Wild Turtle what turned out to be a 2v2 lane against, what was it, Rumble Thresh, and then they swapped back when he was weaker. So he just kept going farther and farther down that pit of despair against Tristana, and it was just, he fell super far behind.
Yeah, right. We saw the lane swap back finally, but in that 2v2 now, Tristana comes ahead with a kill, and then throughout the rest of the game, relegate her to the side lanes. So she ended up with 150 CS over a Kalista near the late game.
The thing I want to touch on with the Xin Zhao pick is that he's played Jarvan before. We saw it from him. It'll shred armor just like him. It'll set people up in an equalizer hole. I'm really curious as to why that pick took priority, because it gives him the style of going in for vision, coming out for vision with the flag and drag. Like, Xin Zhao can't do that. So it's really just kind of mind-boggling. I'd love to hear what Move has to say about that.
Yeah, we've seen it twice now this weekend, and to like wishy-washy success. I mean, I don't really have a word for it. It's just been meh. I'm unimpressed by the Xin Zhao picks so far. I'm waiting to figure out why exactly people are prioritizing him.
Yeah, it's hard to say because, yes, Jarvan could do a lot of those jobs, potentially better than him, maybe early sustained. That's not what this game necessarily was about.
Exactly.
There was so many crazy fights within the mid-game, and I actually have to credit Gravity a lot for the way they were able to claw back from having an 0-8 Urgot at one point and consistently trying to cycle out the carries from Team Solo Mid.
Well, what I really liked is even though Keen is behind like 4,000 gold at 40 minutes, Hauntzer's up 3,000, Altec's up 3,000, Hauntzer's up 1.5 thousand, and then when they're grouping up, they're damage dealers. They have more damage dealers who are further ahead, and they were just soloing out Bjergsen. Even though Keen was like 0-8, he's still suppressing Bjergsen, stopping him from taking any actions before he got the items that he needed to get out of it. So I thought that was really good by Gravity to kind of play around where their gold was.
It's another one of those games where you look at the losing team in Gravity and you say they shouldn't feel awful about this game because they did play very well through the mid-game. As Bjergsen said, we were on the losing end of every team fight, struggling to figure out how to keep control of this game that we're supposedly winning right now. And so, when I look at Bunny Fufu and the shot callers and the development of this team, I do have to say that I would walk away from this game with a smile on my face. I mean, a disappointed smile, I guess.
Yeah, it's actually 2 games in a row this week that TSM has had a losing trend that is then reversed at the very last moment, and then they end up winning the game. So a worrying week for Team Solomid because the expectation is that they win every game. And yes, we do say that Team Liquid and Gravity can walk away with their held tie, but at the end of the day, they lost.
Yeah, and Team Solo Mid, basically this week, they went 2-0, but 2 different equalizers placed slightly different ways. It would have been an 0-2 week for them.
Those minor mechanical errors, man, can bite you sometimes. Well, up next on the Rift, we've got Counter Logic Gaming to defend their first place position when they take on Cloud9. Don't go anywhere.
Turtle, you are the owner of the game, so I will ask you eventually to start the game. Just be aware.
Yeah. Can you handle this pressure, Turtle? I don't know, but I'll try my best.
Oh, he is coming in with the Gnar bar out. Full Gnar against the wall for 2 members, and they're able to clean up Bunny Fufu.
I want any. Kalista null, nice. Go.
You can fight.
Kalista. Nice. 0.
Dyrus, he hops out as well. Team Solo Mid can definitely assess this one again and go back into the fight, but it's just too much from the Flame Spitter.
Hey, Urgot's on me. I'm going on Rumble. Haunter. Kill Trip. I'm really low. Easy. Okay, everyone. He has no flash. We can enter top.
A hard-fought game. Team Solo Mid take down Gravity.